Moi kaikille! Hello everyone! Welcome to the very first episode of VAMK Academic Adventures. I'm Kay, your host, who is also a second-year international business student at Vasa University of Applied Sciences and currently working as an international marketing trainee at VAMK Marketing Department. In VAMK Academic Podcast Adventures, we will be talking and discussing with our personnel and students and exchanging our opinions about different matters on the student life and career opportunities and so on. In this first episode, we'll have Francis, who is our talent coach, together with us. As I've just introduced just a little bit about yourself, could you start introducing yourself a little bit more?
How much time do you have?
Oh, yeah, I know you can go really long.
Anyway, my name is Francis, originally from Ghana. I lived here, Vasa, for, I think this year, 2 decades. So I've done all sorts of jobs, and I thought putting all those experience together and sharing it with the international would be a good opportunity. So this is why I decided to take on this role, to be able to support the internationals and help them become something good or something great in Finland.
Yes. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Even though we've met.
Well, it's always good to say nice to meet you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, since you've been here living like 2 decades, and I know that you have also graduated from VAMK.
Yes.
So, can you tell us a little bit about what is the unique thing about VAMK, like since your studies time and also now during this period as well?
I think VAMK is a wonderful institution due to the diverse pool of teachers from both international and Finnish. Not only that, also, we are located in the energy cluster of Finland, and not just Finland, in the Nordic. So there's more energy companies here when compared to any part of the Nordic country. So that's also a good opportunity. Also, we also have this wonderful lab, Technobotnia, which is one of the best labs in Europe. So, when you look at it, it's why not study at VAMK? And more importantly, VAMK is made up of 6 universities, 2 vocational schools. So the student life here is absolutely wonderful. So it's a place to be, I would say.
Yes, I totally agree with that because now that I've come from Myanmar, and the cities I've come from and here is very different, but only now that I come here I know how Vasa has a lot of energy and how sustainable the region is trying, and
That's
also
true.
how VAMK is one part in making the industry more sustainable and more developed as well. So I really agree with that. Yeah, so since we have the whole Vasa area, and VAMK is also really recommendable, but how can you say in terms of VAMK only, like what kind of resources are they available for the international students, especially coming from outside of Finland?
To be honest with you, I've studied in, I would say, 4 out of the 6 universities.
Wow.
So VAMK has something unique. First, VAMK has someone like me, to help the international students.
Definitely.
So I think that's something unique, that someone that has lived here, worked here, done a lot here, and is very intertwined with the society. So having this kind of person at VAMK, I think, gives VAMK a good value for the international student. Not just me, also VAMK also has quite a lot of international teachers, as I said earlier on, that also comes from diverse background, from Middle East, from Africa, from all over the place. And I think this add an extra layer on top to create that level of understanding, because most of these internationals coming from outside, coming in, they want to be in a place where they feel like they are part of the community or they are part of the society. And I think this is what VAMK is able to offer them. We have a state-of-the-art classrooms, well equipped with various tools that the student can use to better their learning and study. So, and also the layout of our campus is wonderful, bright colors, which gives you this warm feeling.
Yes,
That you don't see that in the other universities. And so I think choosing VAMK, you have a bag for your money. So
yes, I think now I'm in the second year, so maybe a little bit still early to say, but I think so far it has been a really great journey. For example, in the first year, we have like Francis, you, like talent coach that guide us with our CV and then cover letter. So a lot of us don't have like work experiences before and don't know how, and especially coming from different countries, the work applications processes are
completely different.
Exactly.
That's absolutely true. And don't forget our weekly coffee dates.
Yes, exactly.
I always have a date with my students or our students to discuss. No topic is off bound. So when you have something going on, you feel that need to share or to talk to someone. We also have good social worker, the puppy. So we have different resources when it comes to mental health and career, and we've covered almost all the areas. So
I agree, because just like I mentioned, we get prepared for the career even from the first year already.
That's
there are a lot of workshops that you have done, and also with guest speakers from all the companies. And moreover, now I'm also part of the mentoring program, like the Energy Academy, that it collaborates with all the companies in the Vasa region. So there's a lot of supportive system, and not just for work, like you mentioned,
but also for the personal life
as well. If you have some difficulties that you don't want to share, there's also our puppy and Annie, and then also of course the curator, so we can
the social,
and even for the studies we can plan and choose how.
Yes, we have the career counselors also available.
Peter Smith
also who's also helping with the counseling as well. So there is a lot of resources.
Yes. So far, I haven't been bored. If the main important thing is that we just have to be active and try to make use of these opportunities and the resources available, because there's a lot already. Even if you get stuck with thesis, there's also thesis support, weekly, and even for stress management. So many things happening.
There's so many things.
And now I'm also a student, and also of course there are more international students coming to Vasa and Finland. I'm now working as a trainee in VAMK, but I don't know that much about the job market opportunities. So I think you've been really familiar. So you can, maybe give me some opinions.
We just have to. I will try to be as honest as possible. There are, I think last time I checked, from the TA Toimisto, which is the unemployment office website, there's at least currently more than 500 jobs here in Vasa. So there are opportunities available, and the fact is some of the job openings are actually not made public as well. So it's also word of mouth. So this is where what you said earlier on, the social network, the social contact is very, very, very extremely important, that you put yourself out there, because most of the job actually they don't make it public. It's word of mouth. Hey, do you know this person? Yes, I have this friend. We go to football together, or we go to dance classes together, or we do something together. So I can recommend. So that's important. The current economic situation in Finland is kind of lukewarm, in the sense that recently there's been some big companies that they've gone bankrupt. So that's shaking job market in Ostrobothnia a little bit. However, we are approaching summers, and we can already see that there's a lot of companies actually hiring students as a trainee. So we have ABB, Wärtsilä, and many other companies. So irrespective that the market is a little bit lukewarm, in the sense that some big companies are going under, these other big companies are taking the opportunity to provide more place for them to be able to work, especially the students. So it is half and half, but I think the most important is, as a student, what you need to do is to be proactive. which is very, very important. You cannot just sit at home and send CV and hope that things will work out. You need to be proactive, be part of the society, be part of the community. Let people see you, let people know you. One of the fundamental qualities of Finland is the use of the word trust, that people need to know you and trust you before the opportunity. And the only way they can trust you or know you is by engaging in various activities with them in the public. Volunteering, for example, also does help. So there are ways that you can do, but to be honest, there are opportunities.
There are opportunities. Yes, definitely. I think like now that you've mentioned, I've also reflecting on myself in these 2 years that I have studied. And like, for example, even though, of course, I want to have a trainee or job position, I try to stay active first, because you have mentioned like be proactive and also, so I not just focusing on the job, but volunteering and even just be part of the community. Like, for example, I was part of the student ambassador for VAMK and make contents for this. So, and by talking through the classmates, then they know like, oh, you can do this, you can do that, and they can recommend each other for the student ambassador position. So now that I'm creating some contents as a student ambassador, and which now also leads me to have a trainee in the marketing department. So,
and I can also lay to a full-time job.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Fingers crossed.
No, it will. I mean, I've seen how active you are, and I think you are doing everything to the text book, all the theory, everything that we've said. I can see you implementing them, and this is why you yourself have acknowledged your progress. Just 2 years and see where you've been. So I only hope that the other students will, take a snapshot of this and apply that to their life, and I think things will be completely different for them as well. So
yeah, that's true. And of course, depending on the cultures, it might be difficult to adapt, but like you always said, I remember like when you're in Finland, you have to adapt to how things
when the famous saying is that when you're in Rome, you have to behave like the Romans.
Yes,
so
Romans, yes.
If you're in Finland, you need to study how the Finns are, how they talk, how they react, and just adapt to that.
Yes, definitely. And also don't lose yourself. You always
it is possible that you have, this is why I like the word adaptation. For instance, when you look at the chameleon, it doesn't change the shape of his head, the hand or nothing. It just changes the skin color to adapt the environment. And it means that the chameleon has its own self. It hasn't lost that part of, but just for survival and then he has to do something to be able to get food. And so as an international student, you cannot afford that. Hey, in my culture, yes, I don't drink alcohol, but yes, we understand no one is forcing you to drink alcohol, but that doesn't mean that you cannot socialize as well. So it's a way of how you look at things, don't be narrow-minded, but have a much more broader perspective on life and culture. Meeting other people, you end up learning quite a lot, and that can also help you, and they also learn a lot from you as well. So it's a two-way thing. So
I definitely agree, and I'm trying to do as much as I can as well, and socializing and
but sometimes it's also good to also take time for yourself.
Yes,
just go in your own bubble and
that's true
and recharge your battery and stuff. So
yeah, that's true.
It's very important
it's really good, because now we also have the gym here, and we have some opportunities to relax, like yoga sessions, so that also really relaxes a lot for me. So like you said, I try to remind myself and make use of all the opportunities, not just for job, but also for
other
resting,
things, also for resting, health, eating well, and all those kind of things. They are equally extremely important.
Yes, definitely. Yes, but I think we also covered about the proactiveness, like the main skills. But do you think what other skills do you think that are necessary for international students who want to seek job opportunities? Of course, we covered a lot.
I would. To be honest with you, I won't say skill, but what I would say is that due to the cultural background where we come from, a lot of us also don't know who we are. And I think it's extremely important for you to also take the time to figure out who you are, what you like, what you don't like, because the funny thing is that one of the most fundamental questions they will ask you during the interview is, hey, tell me a bit about yourself. And then say, oh.
Yeah.
So being able to take the time and understand who you are, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what takes you, what's affect your emotion negatively and what affect your emotion positively is equally important, because once you understand this, when you even get the job, then it's much easier for you to coexist with people. You know what are your triggers, so once somebody is doing that, you know how to manage it so that you don't come out or speak in a way that people will read a negative meaning to it. You know how to comport yourself. So I think I would say for me personally, this is something that has actually helped me, even living here quite a long. It took me a while to really understand this. At me being able to understand why do I react certain ways, what makes me kind of show this kind of emotion or that kind of emotion, that's really, really helped me. And it's also helped you to control who you are when things happen. The other skills that is connected to this is this emotional intelligence, the ability for you to control your emotion while at the same time observing people and also controlling their emotion. I think this is also equally important. And before you can actually have this emotional intelligence as a competence or as a skill set, you need to also first find yourself, to know yourself.
Yes.
By doing that, this helps you to also understand others. So, and this is something that a lot of internationals sometimes they don't take the time to do, because we come from a collective society, whereas in Finland we are in a individualistic society according to the Hofstede dimension. So this is very important that, okay, now I'm coming to an individualistic society. Let me take advantage of it. Let me use the opportunity to find myself. In most of our cultures, mom and dad and uncle, they determine what you have to study in life.
Yes.
Now family is only engineering, and whereas maybe you want to be a fashion designer and stuff. So, so maybe it's also a time for you to reflect and see, okay, now I'm doing this. Maybe I do it for mommy, and then after that, I'll maybe do something that I enjoy myself. So, so it's part of.
Yes. Yes, I think I agree. Because for the hard skills, we can always be...
You can always learn. I mean, all the software, the tools, you can learn it. The soft skills are the most challenging and the most important.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I don't know if I've shared this. In 2021, Dunitori, they did a survey by asking different companies that, hey, what is the most important qualities that you look for in an employee? And guess what? Your experience and all those things, your CV, is not important. The most important is your personality. Finland, when they are hiring, they are not hiring you. Of course, the skill set, the hard skill is important, but they have to envision you, see you in the team. If the answer is no, then I'm sorry. It doesn't matter how good you are. It's the group dynamics. It's very, very important. So I think my advice to every international is to try to start learning to cultivate a good personality by, of course, knowing themselves, and of course, going out there, or even asking friends, hey, tell me 3 things, 3 good things about me and 3 bad things about me. That you can then evaluate yourself and then see what you need to work on. And I think this is something that we don't do enough.
Like when you said, because now we come here and study in Finland, we have also a lot of more time to reflect on ourselves, because we are separated from
our parents, our loved ones, brothers, sisters.
Yes,
so.
Definitely. So it gives me also more time on myself to work on myself. So until someone points out, okay, you're good at communicating, and now I know, okay, so
this is what
you have to more polish it.
Self-reflection.
Self-reflection. So this is really what I can relate. And I think Finland is also a really great place to
actually, this is why I actually tell the student that get the admission to Finland. You should be very, very, very happy.
Exactly.
Because it's not by coincidence. It's an opportunity for you to find yourself to the highest degree. Taking the time to evaluate who you are, what you like, what you don't like, and building your life career. And when you do that, when you go back, you become a completely different person.
Yes, yes.
Being in a collective society is good, but it has a downside.
Definitely. That's true. I
Because you
totally
never have
agree.
that self time, because always you are around people and then you sleep, you wake up the same thing till, So being able to come to Finland is a great opportunity for you to find yourself as well.
Yes, yes.
And this is why Finland has become the happiest country 6 years in a row, not because they are laughing huku kaka on the street and stuff. No, because Finns are able to spend that self-time, go to the forest, take a long walk, reflect on their self, reflect on their life and their future and stuff, and then they start working towards that. So once international here, I mean, you also need to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think that is the main thing that we should prepare ourselves when coming also to Finland, even other countries also, but of course when you come to Finland you get really this opportunity to reflect. So I really appreciate it also, and this been time I've been trying to reflect, and like you said, talking to friends, like, okay, what are my strengths, what is my weaknesses, and I've been trying to improve them slightly, a little bit, of course, a long way to go, but
of course. I mean, the fact is not for you to completely do that in a day. Small changes that you do, maybe, hey, I don't eat well, maybe let me add 1 apple every day, and then you continue that. Oh, maybe I sit a lot. Let me just take 50 minutes walk around the block, and then from there 15 to 20 minutes, from 20 minutes to these small things that you end up doing, you see the drastic change in your life. So when we say that you need to improve yourself or have self-reflection, we are not saying that you should do that and accomplish everything at the same time. Be disciplined in it and be persistent and consistent in doing that. And this small will make, create that version of yourself that you look forward to. A little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. So
yes.
So this small improvement can lead to very big change in your career and your personal life as well.
200% agree. 200% agree. Yeah, and speaking of like knowing ourselves also, like before coming into like Finland, like I only thought about just getting a job, getting something like work on, like, doing for a company, but I've never really thought of like starting your own business or your own interest. And only after I come here, I started like thinking about it. Is it a possibility? Because I've never thought it was a possibility.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah. So
you just need to figure out what exactly you want. And then that's the first domino. And then you can ask around, hey, this is what I want. How can I do that?
Yeah.
And of course, I as a career coach or a talent coach, I like the word talent. I don't like career.
Talent coach. Yes.
As a talent coach, I'm able to then help you, guide you, tell you where you should go, who you should talk to. It makes I enjoy having people asking this kind of question that, hey, I can see that I'm good at this, but I don't know how to capitalize on it. Then I can, hey, go to talk to this person or read this book or listen to this podcast or watch this YouTube clip, and then from there you actually start building something wonderful for yourself. We have this startup cafe, VAMK, that help entrepreneurs establish their business. So there are tools here, project going on that can also help you as well. So as long as you look for it, I'm sure you definitely find one.
Yeah, that's true. So it's like, even if you don't want to find a job and someone, you can always start your own also.
No, you can.
It's of course really well.
I know a few people that graduated from VAMK that now own their own businesses. The fact is, I tell this to my students a lot, that as a student, even though if you don't remember any of the courses that you did, you should remember 3 things.
What are the 3 things? 3 things.
As a student, it's 3 core things that you need to remember. First, you should be able to learn how to communicate effectively. Meaning that you should be able to tell people what is going on inside you, have talk with people, and then so forth. The second thing is that you also need to be able to write effectively, putting good sentences together and all this. And when you combine these two, it leads to the third one, which is back to the entrepreneurship, is the ability to generate ideas. Because when you have an idea, you should be able to what? To communicate it and also to be able to write it down. So this is why actually we allow the student to write thesis. And when you look at thesis, it covers all these three areas. You have to write, you have to present, and your writing needs to come up. You need to come up with some idea, either solve a problem or what? Improve it. If you have a business idea, you are able to put it on black and white, and then you are able to communicate it to probably a future investor or someone who can mentor you or help you. So this is why, at least as a student, strive to cover these three areas. And for you to generate ideas, you need to have the time to think. Self-reflection, self-time. You see how all these things are connected
and connected. Yes, I'm slowly seeing it's all in a bigger picture.
Everything affects everything. Yes. Everything we do affects the others. So once we understand that, I think this is equally important. So.
Yes. Yeah, I will also remember this to myself as well, and of course also to all our current students, and also for all the upcoming and international students as well. So but do you have any suggestions or advice to people coming to the new international students coming to VAMK?
I would say, if please, coming to Finland is extremely important for you to do your background work. Once you get the admission, go online and start reading about the country for proper orientation, because some of the problem that something happen is the level of expectation. You know, I'm going to abroad, and they have all this fancy expectation that everything will be. Yes, it will happen, but it's going to take time. So you need to at least consciously and subconsciously prepare yourself that have a plan, that in case this doesn't work out, I move on to this. In case this doesn't work out, I move on to this. Me being here, I've been through all those challenges. I've been in the bottom, and now I feel like I'm flying now. So everything we do is to some extent connected in a way. So have a proper orientation, find someone here that you can ask proper information from.
Like you.
Like me, of course.
Or me.
Or
any
or anybody that's already here that can help you. So for me, you can also get in touch with me through Instagram, VAMK_talent coach. VAMK_talent coach. You can reach out. Already I have some students that already got admission, and they are asking a lot of questions. And I support them, reply them, tell them what to do, send them links and stuff that they have to follow and things. So I think this is very, very important. When it comes to the career, something just came to my mind now, that if you have any form of previous experience, I think do not disregard it. Don't think that it is not important. As I said, everything is connected to everything. Some people, for instance, even some of the students that we have here that are doing cleaning, but they are studying to be embedded system engineer. When you ask them, do you think the cleaning you are doing is connected to being an engineer? And they say no. I said, are you kidding me? Really? And then we do small exercise that, okay, now list all the qualities, all the competence that you are gaining from the cleaning. And then they list it, and then they realize that, oops, these are the same thing I'm actually going to do. These are the same soft skills. The only difference is that in cleaning, I'm using a mop. In computer engineering, I'm using a laptop. So the tools are only different, but then the soft skills are all the same. So they should remind themselves that whatever they are learning or whatever they've learned is equally important and it's good. So that's one advice, that they shouldn't see that what they are doing would not help them, but whatever experience they have would equally influence their career here in Finland. And also just the proper orientation, making sure that they have the right information, the right facts. I'm going online. One thing I like about Finland is that we are very digitized. Everything you want to know is online. So you can always, and if you have difficulties understanding, you can always call someone or email someone, and they will always get back to you.
Yeah.
As you know, Finland, we are really, our population is getting a bit old. So for that reason, we definitely do need internationals here. And one way to get in here is through the school and making something good out of yourself, and the future becomes bright. So
Yes, that's true.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much today.
Thank you.
It's a really great discussion, and of course, time for myself to learn a lot also, and also for all the international students, both the existing and also the upcoming ones.
Yeah.
So it has been a really great discussion.
Thank you very much for the
that's
opportunity,
true.
and I hope they will pick one or two things that could help them. And of course, please always reach out no matter what you are going through, whether you're already in Finland or you are still on your way to Finland. Reach out, ask, and we'll do our best to support. As I said, we have the best resources.
We have the best resources. VAMK has a lot.
yeah.
We have to make use of them.
Exactly. So please reach out. You are not alone.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
so
Thank you very
much
much.
for today.
Yes.
Have a nice day.
You too. Yes. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you everyone for tuning in to this episode of VAMK Academic Adventures. We will see you in the next episode.